Hi, excuse me. Excuse me. I'd like to get into my chair. Thank you. Excuse me. Hi, excuse me. Getting in. Yeah, thanks. All right, can't wait for this fight to start. Yeah.
Are you ready for this? You gotta take the hits. Step into the ring. It's a 4K showdown. Who's gonna win this round? Yeah, it's a 4K showdown. This is a 4K showdown. Step into the ring, it's gonna win the 4K showdown. This is a 4K showdown. Step into the ring, it's gonna win.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ultimate showdown of digital clarity and streaming supremacy. Live from the center of the tech arena, it's time to crown the undisputed champion of crystal clear video, the best 4Cam webcam title match. I messed that one up, but that's okay. In this corner, we've got 8 heavy hitters, each armed with pixels, power, and precision. Introducing the first camera of compact clarity, the Obsbot Me Too 4K. Facing off with unprecedented agility and tracking perfection, the Insta360 Link. Thank you for applauding. That's very good. All right. And next up, we have joining the fight the new challenger and bringing in fresh focus and upgraded optics, the Insta360 Link 2 series. Next up, the live stream legend built for creators on the go and weighted like a heavy brick, the Yololiv Yolocam S3. Coming in hot with Logitech's legendary engineering, the MX Brio Ultra HD 4K. Ready to capture every detail with broadcast precision? Upcoming is the Elgato Facecam 4K. And also from the House of Innovation, bringing in some cinematic movement and AI magic, the Obsbot Tail Air. And last but not least, it's definitely the priciest and the most heavy of all of them. Last but not least, the upgraded, unstoppable evolution, the Obsbot Tail 2. Oh, yeah, camera operator, sorry. All right, so here it is. We've got 8 cameras, 1 title. So grab your popcorn, clear your focus, and hold on tight. It's clarity versus clarity, AI versus AI, and the only sharpest will survive. Are you ready? Then let's get ready to shoot in 4K. How's that for a beginning and an opening, huh? All right. All right. Let me change the mics.
All right, everybody, this is epic today. This is going to be such a fun program, process, and everything. There are a few things that are going to happen today in this 4K webcam battle. First of all, this is going to be live 1 versus 1 battles. Yeah, that's right. 1 versus 1 battles. And here, you guys get to be the judge. You guys get to be the judge. So you are going to determine which of the 2 cameras is the best. And only the best one will move on to the next round. And there will only be 1 final winner. Oh, hold on. Let me turn the sound on. One final winner. This is such a fun event right now. So thank you to everybody who's joining me live on this show. It is my first time doing a live stream on this channel, not my first time doing a live stream ever. As you guys may know, I've been doing this for a good number of years and having a blast, usually building it out on other people's channels. So this is what's going to happen. I'm basically going to take all of these different webcams that you guys saw and sorry. We've got the little cameras all the way up to the biggest one, which is the Tail 2. Now, price-wise, I've done my best to keep the majority of the USB webcams around that same price. This is, generally speaking, around the $200 US mark. Not all 4K webcams are $200, some are even under $100, but those are more of the lesser known webcams from different manufacturers, and that's not what today is about. Today is about showcasing some of the best, highest quality webcams in and around that $200 range, and then I'm going to throw in a couple of the Obsbot PTZ ones, which are a little bit on the pricier side, with the Tail 2 ranging all the way up to around $1,200 US, but that'll give you a good idea and sense of what this basically is starting to look like. So just opening up things, I thought each camera was getting its own walk-up music. It was going to get its own walk-up music, but hey man, there's just only so much, you know, licensed music that I could actually get. But anyway, yeah, the camera operator, whoops, yeah, that's, I might have to rehire a new camera operator just to guys let you know. 5 stars, thank you so much for those stars. Who needs Ecamm when you've got Sharpies, right? Exactly, this is going old school. We're going analog. That's what sometimes you need to do, right? So excited to see these 4K live webcam comparisons. This is so true. This is something that I've been thinking about for a long time, but now we've got so many cool cameras that are coming out. It's really, really awesome and fun. You should include the iPhone with the continuity camera as a contender in the battle. Well, escaping the suburbs with Scott, the thing was, I can do that, but the challenge is the iPhone, it's not going to be a 4K signal. And I wanted to keep this original. I wanted to keep this with that 4K intention. So you guys, if you are watching on a desktop, go ahead and make sure you're watching this in full screen. Click on that little cog wheel that's usually around this area over here and switch it to 4K. I'm outputting at 4K 24 frames per second, no, 50 frames per second. So you should be able to see this in all of its glory. If you're watching on an iPad or a phone or anything like that, come back to it and watch this on your desktop or your laptop in 4K so you can see the clarity and the sharpness of it all. Now, I'm going to be comparing all of these different cameras together one at a time, and you're going to choose one or the other. And then the one that wins that little battle is going to go on to the next round. We've got about 8 cameras here, and then we'll open up to questions as well closer to the end. So sit back, relax, have a fun time here. This is honestly very fun. So get up off your seats and let's get ready to camera. Okay, so, all right. So now I'm going to just give this a little bit of a warning to you guys. I'm going to be hot swapping cameras on this computer system. Yeah, that's pretty dangerous, right? Now, I've tested this over and over again today. And so far, it has been working well. Rebooted the computer system. It's pretty clean in terms of software. So I'm literally going to start connecting these cameras, and you're going to see me connect them like this. So I've got this little tray here, or this little stand, and you can see, there it is. Just going to start connecting USB, and then I'm going to put them on this little bar that holds the cameras horizontal so you guys can see. Now, first up is going to be the Obsbot Meet 2 4K, which is the least costly of all the cameras. However, the quality for the dollar value is phenomenal. It is amazing how much that little tiny $100-ish camera can do. So And then what's going to happen is I'm going to, in real time, do the switching with the side-by-side comparison. So if you guys are ready, we're going to compare two cameras right now. And let's see, I'm going to switch this left one up. And this one is going to be the Obsbot Meet 2. And the right side, I'm now switching over. And this is going to be the Insta360 Link. All right, so this one over here is the Insta360 Link. Oh, actually, I've got some names, but I'm going to say left and right. So let's just change this. This is all done in real time, folks. This is live. Welcome. Insta360 Link. All right, and then this left camera is going to be the, oops, let me switch this up again. The left camera, what did I say that was? That was the Obsbot Meet 2. All right, so we've got the Obsbot Meet 2 and the Insta360 Link. Now, these are pretty much out of the box. I made a few adjustments here and there, but I'm going to adjust these in real time because I want these to look as good as possible. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the Obsbot on the left side, right? I'm going to switch this over to my Sony ZV-E10. So right now, the one that I'm looking at is the Sony ZV-E10. Now this is running in at 4K 24 frames per second and it's coming in through a Camlink 4K. That Camlink 4K is connected directly to my Macintosh and it's streaming at 4K right now. Now I'm going to switch the right side, or leave the right side, which is the Insta360 Link, and I'm going to show you the software. So it's going to be a little bit on the smaller side, but if you are on a desktop, you can see what I'm doing. So I can drag, oh, this is the link. Hold on. I'm going to switch this to 4K. 4K 24. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to make it as close as possible to this Sony. Right? Now, I like a little bit of a warmer look to it. So you can see here on the Insta360 Link, it actually is already set to warm, but I'm going to adjust it a little bit more. So let's do this. I'm going to disable that AI tracking. I don't want it to follow me. The exposure, I think, is pretty good. I'm going to switch over and just take a look here. Yeah, the exposure is coming in really nice. I think it's a little bit on the warm side. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these two cameras, right? So I've got the Sony on the left and the Insta360 Link on the right side. So if I start to make this adjustment and let's say the ISO is fine, I think where I'm at is the white balance. Where's my white balance? Temperature. Okay, so let's make this a little bit cooler. I think I've actually dialed it in. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Are these very, like, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be close, right? So to me, I think they're quite close. The background on the 360 Link 2 is a little bit on the warm side, but skin tone and all that stuff, I've got it close. And in terms of the autofocus, I'm leaving that on as that. And the overall exposure, the ISO, is fine. You guys can see I'm also watching this in real time on this computer system so that, oh, interesting. Is this streaming at 4K? I think I am. Let me just check something here. Live. Shareable link. Okay. Sorry, this is live. Just checking to see different things. I'm also watching. All right. Okay, yeah, that's 4K. Good. All right. So let me know what you guys think about that. I can see on the right side. Okay, nobody's saying anything about it. Are left and right correct? It's your left and your right. So let me throw this up. So this does not say, it's actually not this one anymore. This is my Sony ZV-E10. All right, so Sony ZV-E10, Insta360 Link 2. I'm going to now move the Insta360 Link, change the Sony ZV-E10 over to the Obsbot Meet 2, and now I'm going to base that all on the 360. All right, Meet 2 stream camera. Okay, so now you can see that the Obsbot Meet 2 on your left side is a little bit cold. You can see it look kind of gray and there's not that much happening. Because I already tuned the 360 Link 2 as close as possible to the Sony, now I'm going to start to make adjustments. And then we're going to have you guys vote. So this is the Obsbot Meet 2, and that is going to be here. So now I'm going to make the adjustments. So I definitely think the white balance is off. So now let me warm that up to about 5200. And that looks a little bit better. The saturation, let's take it down just a tad bit. Move them side by side. Ooh, this might be pretty close. Okay, so folks, I want you to let me know which camera do you think is clearer, more sharper. I want you to take, I purposely wore this shirt today. It has very fine lines in it. So I noticed that some 4K cameras showed the lines in the shirt and some didn't. So I want you to go ahead and bring your face really close to that camera. And I want you to take a look at, my hair, all that type of stuff, and the lines on the shirt. And do you see the clarity? Do you see the sharpness inside of the video itself? All right, and then let me know, Obsbot Meet 2 versus the Insta360 Link. Which one wins your vote? Right? Which one of these two wins your vote? Go ahead and let me know. Just put Meet 2 or Link, and then I will keep the one that you guys vote for, or I'm going to vote for my own. All right, so I'm going to go take a look in this camera and see, or this computer system. All right, I think I can see. Now, both of these are really, really good. Do not misunderestimate what I'm talking about here. Both of these are very, very good. I am finding, though, that the Insta360 Link, for now, without additional tweaking and spending a little more time, that the Insta360 Link is a little bit sharper. It's capturing a little bit more in terms of the lines on the shirt, as well as the hair and some of the skin marks and stuff like that. Now, depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for beauty filters and stuff like that, it's available through the app, but I'm not going to be turning those on today. I just want to compare the cameras side by side. So in these two, my opinion right now, without spending in more time in terms of seeing which ones, how to further, edit the image, I am going to say that I kind of like the Insta360 Link right now a little bit better. So let's give that up, a little bit of applause. Woo! All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the one that I didn't choose, put that aside, and now connect a new camera. Now these are two Insta360s side by side. So now let me just change this around. So this one is Insta360 Link 2C. All right, and I'm going to switch this source up to the 2C. And now I've pre-configured this 2C to be as close as possible already. And so based on these two, Insta360 skin tone, yeah. Yep, okay, so Jeff says, Meet 2. Jeff, you like the Meet 2, very good. Now, I'm not saying that nobody should get the Meet 2. I'm saying that all these cameras are very, very, very good. I specifically chose these higher end cameras, by the way, if you guys missed the beginning of the live stream. I purposely chose these ones because they are all very good. So what I'm not saying is you should buy a new camera. What I am saying is if you are in the market for a new 4K webcam, a USB webcam, take a look at some of these options here because these are really, really, really good. Now that Insta360 Link 2C is a newer version compared to, or newer sensor and all that stuff compared to the Insta360 Link, which is on your right side. So what that does mean is that it is going to have an improved picture. right? Now this 360 link here is a PTZ camera, and it is phenomenal, and it still is a very, very, very good camera. However, the 2C and the Insta360 Link 2 has improved sensors, improved sensor size, as well as the clarity and the sensitivity. So the 2C usually will win out compared to these two lenses. But if you've already got a Link, you don't necessarily need to upgrade. But if you are, again, in the market for a new camera, I definitely think that this Link 2C is really, really good. Like, I'm just going to show you right now. I'm going to turn the right side back to the Sony. And from a sharpness perspective, from a clarity perspective, both are really, really good. And to be honest with you, this 2C that you see on your left side here, it's a really good camera. So right now it's about an arm's length away. And if this was your primary camera, I think this is pretty good. So between these two cameras, I'm going to switch this guy back to the 360 Link. Between these two cameras, which one do you feel is the better one of the two? I'm going to go and just change the 2C around a little bit. I'm going to reduce some of the, what is it called? I'm going to reduce some of the warmth on there. Temperature, so okay, the temperature is automatic. Okay, so now I've got both cameras set. These are really close. Yeah, these are really close. So I want you to take a look at my eyes, my eyebrows, the hair, right, my skin, and take a look at the shirt from a sharpness perspective. Between these two, which do you feel would win this round? The Insta360 Link on your right side won round one, and this is now the Insta360 Link 2C, which is non-PTZ, but it's got the same sensor as the PTC version of the Link 2. So what do you think between these two? Go ahead and choose your left or your right, the 2C or the original Link. Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are. I'm just going to look back here, and between the two, I'm going to say that, ooh, this is going to be interesting. I kind of like the original Link. I'm just going to throw this out there. I kind of like the original Link. I feel that there's a little bit more sharpness and clarity. And in the software itself, I did not increase that. They're actually, they don't even have that option here for it, for sharpness and stuff like that. So I got to say, folks, what do you think? I kind of like the Link, but I'm going to go with what y'all say. So Eden says, ooh, these are super close, right? I think the 2C has more detail, though. 2C on the left, okay, all right. And Upstate says Link 2X, or I'm assuming you meant the C, because the X and the C are right beside each other. And that might be autocorrect. I think, personally, I like the Link originally, but y'all voted for the 2C, so here we go. The Link 2C is the winner of this round. All right. So let's now switch this up. I'm going to remove the original Link. We're going to keep the 2C connected. And oh, this, my friends, this is a new up-and-coming camera. This is the Yololiv Yolocam S3. From the build quality of every single one of these cameras, this S3, in my humble opinion, has the best build quality. And the reason why is because the entire casing is made of metal. Every other single camera that is here is made of plastic. But this guy here is made of metal. And the reason that is beneficial to you is because of the cooling factor. So all 1080p webcams, they can get warm, but once you start to move up to 4K, now there's a lot more processing. There's a little tiny computer chip inside, and that processing is going to generate heat. And that heat is going to cause some big problems. So in the end, this Yololiv Yolocam S3, I've tested this. I actually use this as my daily driver on my work desktop in the back. It really is good. It really is good. So let's go take a quick look at this camera as I connect it. It's got a nice, cool magnetic mount on the bottom. Yeah, it might be a little bit better. It's got a nice little magnetic mount on the bottom, and let's now change these around. So now it's not the link on that side, it is now the Yolocam S3. And let's pull this up. Ba-ba-ba-bum. It's gonna get there, trust me. Oh, here we go, confirm, connect. Okay, so right now you can see the contrast is a little bit higher. So I'm gonna make some adjustments in the camera itself. So I'm gonna go over to the software settings. You guys can see I've got all the different software applications open on this computer system. So let's move over to here, and I'm going to switch around. So first of all, I wanna make sure that I'm running, I wanna run at 50 Hertz. Going to change things around a little bit, but zoomed in a little bit, which is interesting. Image settings, I'm on fair. I'm going to decrease the contrast a bit, get a little bit of that HDR kind of a look to it. Let's see, the saturation, just drop it just a tad bit. Ooh, I kind of like this a lot. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but right now, the background is there's a little bit of background blur on the S3. And the one reason why is because the sensor is really big on this S3. And obviously that larger sensor size, increased heat and so forth. But now as I go ahead and exposure, let's decrease that a bit. It's almost like I wish there was something in the middle. I can get 800, oh, there we go, 800. Shutter, let's switch this down to 1/50th. Ooh, that's nice, that's nice. And then the white balance, we're going to adjust this one. Okay, let's get a little bit more exposure on this. Ooh. Okay, what do you guys think now? The Yolocam S3, I think, is looking very close, very, very close. Now I'm just gonna go to the left side here. I'm gonna switch this back to my Sony. If you think about these two, they're actually quite close. Now let me just move this a little bit over. What do you guys think? The difference between these two cameras is really, really close. Now, the Sony itself has that, it's just that got that buttery smoothness to it, right? But that's multiple times more pricey than the Yolocam S3. But now, if you look at the Yolocam S3 by itself, oh, that is a very interesting one. So if I go ahead and switch this to the S3, this is probably one of the best USB webcams I've seen in a long time. And the closer you move, obviously, you get a little bit more background blur. You can't naturally get a ton of background blur on these webcams because of the sensor size and because of the way the lens works. But overall, this is a really, really good camera in terms of quality. So let's switch this back to the 2C. All right, so I want to ask you guys in the comments, let me know, is the 2C the better camera between these two, the champion, or is it the Yolocam S3? Go ahead and lock your votes in. Let me know which one is better in terms of your perspective. They're pretty, oh, wow, they actually are really, really good in my opinion. All right, go ahead, put your comments in and let me know. I'm gonna choose my choice. Actually, let me just reduce some of the warmth on this. This one's a little bit hot still. There we go. I think I've got it adjusted a little bit better now. All right, so what do you guys think, all right? That Yolocam does look really nice, right? I think it really does. It really, really, honestly looks phenomenal, and especially when you're comparing it to the other webcams, but like when you're trying to compare it to mirrorless or DSLR cameras, this is a really, really good camera. So go ahead, let me know. I'm gonna move around a little bit, and I'm gonna move up close. I want you guys to guess or let me know which one Which one shows my gray hairs a little bit more? Right? The focus breathing. So if I put my hands in front, which one? Okay, that one, the 2C definitely is focusing ready. Right? Took the S3 a little bit time. Okay, the 2C was a little bit faster on that one. I didn't do this on the previous one, but I'm looking for quality. All right, they're both really good. Let me know. So S3, Eden says, I kind of want to try the camera. Eden, 100% do it, right? I think you just ask them or pick it up. Yolocam. Yep. All right, so folks, I am going to say that the Yolocam S3 is the winner of this round. All right, phenomenal choices here, folks. So I am going to now take out the Insta360 Link 2C. And again, we're hot swapping this thing live, so I'm hoping that everything just continues to go extremely well. And now the next up is going to be the Logitech. What is this thing called? The Logitech Brio MX, no, Logitech MX Brio Ultra HD 4K. A little bit of a long name, but it's still a good camera. All right, so now let's switch this up. On your right side is that S3, and on the left side is the Logitech Brio. So let me align these a little bit, go from there. I'm just gonna double check, do I have this thing on Zoom? No, I don't have that on Zoom. Okay, good. Let me just change the lower names up. This is not the Link 2C. I repeat, this is not the Link 2C. This is the Logitech MX Brio. Let's just call it the MX Brio 4K so it fits on my screen. Okay, now the Brio, I did make a few adjustments before, but the lighting has shifted and changed a little bit. So I'm now going to make some of the software edits. So here we are. The software is, I would say, it's pretty good. You have a lot of additional features or settings in here from my perspective with regards to the field of view and that type of stuff. But I'm going to go over to this. I've set this at 1/60 because there is no 1/50. Oh, there's 24 frames, but I want to kind of double that. So I'm just going to leave that at 1/60. The ISO, I would say the exposure is pretty good. I would like it to have just one notch in between because it's jumping from 300 to 400 if that was possible. But now let's go over to the image. Now, what's interesting is if I just do auto white balance, the Logitech Brio 4K is out of the box. But once I now change this up, I can adjust the temperature accordingly. It takes a little bit of it's not real time when you're moving the switches. You actually have to let go of it and then it jumps again. And then the saturation is a little bit too much for my liking. This is a really wide camera, by the way. So if you are looking for a really wide shot and the camera still is only an arm's distance away, both of these are only an arm's distance away. The Logitech Brio MX 4K really is very wide. So if I wanted to do, I could go in and do a 78-degree, which is probably closer to the other cameras that I'm testing today. So let's go back here, and I'm trying to get everything dialed in similarly. Okay, I think I'm close. All right, I think I'm actually pretty close with these two. What do you guys think? Now let's look at sharpness. Let's look at detail. Let's look at color, not so much because I would want a little bit more time to fine tune the color in these. But overall, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Let me know in the comments. In our previous battle, Jeff had said close, but S3 was his choice as well. Yeah, definitely. So that's why we've got the S3 on your right side and the Logitech MX Brio 4K on the, sorry, the right side is the S3, the left side is the Brio 4K. Let me know what your thoughts and your feelings are on this. The autofocus is set on the Brio, and let's do a quick test to see how that works out. So you can see the S3 takes a little bit of time to focus and a little bit of breathing happening there. I might be just too close to that, but let's do that and then pull that away. Does this Brio even have focus? It's very fast. I don't know. I wonder if this is a fixed focus lens. But between these two, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Let me know. Yolocam wins for sharpness and detail. I'm going to agree with you, Eden. I think that it really, really just wins. Like if you look at the sharpness on the shirt, take a look at the shirt, the lines on the shirt. You can see a lot more detail in my striped shirt, my lined shirt on the S3, right? Brio almost looks like it has a touch-up filter. I wonder if that's on. Exposure, image, focus. It doesn't look like there is. Oh, I got to turn this to 4K. Hold on a second, folks. Hold on. Hold on. Is this going to switch anything? Okay. Ooh. The Brio is now running at 4K. I gotta say, it's a little bit chunky. Now, the one thing about the Brio 4K, somebody has to correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that the Brio 4K might be uncompressed video, kind of like the Facecam 4K, which is going to come up next. It's uncompressed video, so you get higher detail, higher quality, especially in the darkness and stuff like that. Anyway, that might be the reason. I'm not 100% sure. I know original Brios, those 4K Brios that everybody has, they were running into some challenges with regards to running on a lot of different computers. Now, if anybody's wondering, I actually have both of these cameras connected to a different Thunderbolt port on my Mac Mini M4. So they are running independently of each other on different Thunderbolt and USB buses, which allows me to do this. So if you are at home and you're looking at running a 4Cam or multiple 4Cams through USB on your computer system, make sure they are on separate Thunderbolt connections, aka different USB buses. All right, so let's see, Eden. Yeah, no, it definitely is not running something, but I mean, is it making me look younger? Is it taking a few years away? Between these two, I'm gonna vote the Yolocam S3. I think that honestly, it is definitely the better between these two. Woo! All right, so we are going to disconnect the Logitech MX Brio Ultra 4K. And now, here's one that came out a little while ago, but this is the Elgato Facecam 4K. From a body perspective, it's definitely one of the bigger cameras, but in terms of weight, it's very light. It's a plastic body. It seems like it's pretty hollow, so maybe they're using that for air. The entire back of the unit itself is a grill. So I can see a big circuit board in there. It's probably because it's got a decent sized sensor. But the nice thing about this Elgato Facecam 4K is that it's got what they call a prime lens. And it's, what is that, 21mm f4. And so it's supposed to be a really, really good camera. So let's just see how this stacks up against the Yolo. And I'm going to screw that down. Okay, so it took a couple of seconds for that camera to boot up. Now let's enable that, and that's the Elgato Facecam. And right off the bat, you can see it's not the exact same color yet, but we're going to switch that up. So I'm going to, hold on a second here. I'm going to change this name. It's not the Brio 4K. Ignore that right now. It is the Elgato Facecam 4K. Boom. Okay, so that's the Elgato Facecam 4K. Now I've got to change and adjust this thing. So I'm going to use the Camera Hub software. What's kind of nice is I actually have the new, what is it called? The brand new Elgato Prompter XL, 15+ inch screen prompter. It is so good, so good. A video is going to come out in that soon. But using the same software, I can control that as well as all of the Elgato cameras. So that's kind of a nice thing. So I'm going to go in and switch up the source on the software. And it should now trigger, oh, it's causing a little bit of a hiccup. Okay, great. I don't think that I adjusted this one, so I need to switch this somehow to 4K. It's running at 1080p. Low light mode, status LED. Why is this running at 1080p? Nope, Ecamm says it's running at 4K. I don't know what's going on with that, but this is actually a fixed focus lens. There's no focus adjustment on here. So it's a very wide angle, as you can see. It's like almost as wide as the Logitech Brio. But the software itself is saying 1080p 60, and I'm not 100% sure why. But we're going to still work on that and see. I'm going to bring in that just a little bit. Hopefully it's not going to change any of the pixelation and the sharpness because I'm now digitally zooming in, but I'm going to do it just right now just to kind of bring the images closer together. But we've got to change something around here. This is not looking good right now. So we're going to change the exposure, and it is now, I don't want to overexpose too much. Dynamic range, we're just going to use as standard. Shutter speed 1/50. Let's change that white balance. Okay, yeah, this is looking way better now. It's funny, if I put the software at 5200, which is where all of my lights are set, it's really, really yellow. Like, it's really yellow on this. But I'm going to just kind of eye it and bring it as close as possible to the S3. What's nice, so it's interesting. The 4K has this really big hotspot, but if I move the S3 in there, you see the exposure is different. There's no hotspot on the S3, but the 4K has this big hotspot. And that could be, basically the sensor range. It could be because of the dynamic range. Like if I bring up the dynamic range on the Facecam, then you see my shirt got a little bit lighter. It wasn't as dark, but now everything kind of looks gray. So I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to increase the contrast. Ooh, no, we don't want that too much. Increase some of the sharpness. All right, what are y'all thinking while I'm going through these edits and adjustments on the Facecam 4K? What do you think? How do you feel about the changes? Noise reduction, I'm going to turn off. I'm going to get rid of that dynamic range. That way it's pretty standard. Now, I'm trying to look for other settings here. To me, I kind of look pixelated on my display here, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what it looks like out in the real world. Overall, I'm going to say that I do see a little bit of noise. If you look at some of the darker areas on, like from my hair, and you compare the two between the S3 and the Facecam, you'll notice that there's a little bit more noise up in this range on the Facecam. And so I could obviously reduce that. So there's noise reduction, and I can say low, medium, high. So for example, if I turn that to, oh yeah, so there it is. So if I change it to medium, all of that goes away. I now just moved it to low. So now the noise is not as prominent, but this is software-based. This is a software-based adjustment. But between these two cameras, what do you think? How do you feel about these? Let me know. It looks a little grainy, right? Even it was a little bit grainy. So now with that noise reduction, the software-based noise reduction, it's now eliminated or brought down significantly between on that Elgato Facecam output. So what are your thoughts? What do you guys think about the two of these cameras? I think both are still really, really good. I've got to say, I do like and prefer the skin tone and the skin color. Again, I only have so much time to be able to make those adjustments, but I do like the way that the Facecam makes my face look. It is wider, and if I zoom in a little bit more, you might start to get some of that digital pixelation, so I'm not going to be doing that too much. It is a fixed focus lenses from what I understand. The only thing about the Facecam 4K that I'm not too hip on is this big hotspot, that big warm hotspot on that light. If I wanted to get rid of that, if this was my main camera and I wanted to get rid of that, I need to adjust all of my lighting. And as you can see from the Yolocam, it really is not there. You see it's properly graded, right? So that hotspot really honestly is not a major hotspot of an issue. So for me, I would choose the S3 because it has a better overall look, and that's a little bit dangerous in terms of that hotspot side of there. So if you guys have LEDs or different types of background lighting, you might run into some problems and challenges with that, and trying to make the adjustments to those lights with this exposure and then changing your main or your key lights, which could sometimes be somewhat of a challenge. So in this, the S3 is a little bit more forgiving overall. So let me know your thoughts. Mai says still prefer the Yolocam S3. I definitely am going to agree with you on that. Overall, the experience in this video between these two, I'm gonna say the S3 wins this bout. All right, so that's the S3. Now, I have pretty much run out of all of the $200-ish webcams, and now we're going to move up into some more pricier webcams. I'm still going to leave the S3 connected, but I'm now going to take away the Facecam off of this mount, and we're going to now connect this Obsbot tail. Where'd it go? This tail 2. This tail 2 is a few $100s. It's around twice the price or so of the S3. It is a PTZ camera, so there's definitely more reason for it to be pricier between this camera and the other ones. But I've always said, even without using the PTZ functionality of the Tail Air, the sensor size, the sensitivity, the clarity of all the features of every webcam that you would want, definitely this has been really, really good. So let's connect this to the stand, and I'm going to, actually I gotta power it on. Oh, that's the other nice thing about the Obsbot Tail 2, is it's battery powered. So you can keep it charging with USB, or if you get another dongle, it could be Ethernet connected as well. But what's really great is that it has a battery. So you could take that camera out and then, you know, have it used, you don't have to have it charging or with a power cable. So that's kind of cool. So let's switch over to this. Now, this is not the Elgato Facecam. This is now the Obsbot Tail Air. And if I switch this up, Obsbot Tail Air camera, boom. All right, so I'm gonna move this around a little bit. And you can see it automatically adjusted to the exposure. So I'm going to manually adjust the exposure now. But you can see, even with that automatic exposure adjustments, like, dang, this is really, really nice. Now the camera is a little bit higher, as you guys can see here. It is definitely higher, so the angle is going to be a little bit off. So just keep that in mind. But between these two, I'm going to say that the Obsbot Tail Air, it looks good. It looks really good. And honestly, I don't even think I need to make any adjustments to it. The automatic adjustments looked really good. So let's go into this software. The focus mode is there, and that's auto exposure. So if I now turn and remove the exposure, and I change the shutter speed to, this one's got to be 1/50, increase the, ooh, that was really sensitive, to ISO 200 on this one, which is interesting. Let's move this guy over a little bit. And then the white balance was set at 52, which is what my lights are set at. So I'm going to leave that. That's actually the most accurate, I would say. And then the image itself, I'm not increasing any brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, or hue. I'm gonna say between these two. Now, this is not a apples and apples comparison. Again, the Obsbot Tail Air is at least twice the price of the Yolocam S3. But between these two, I would definitely say that the Tail Air is better in terms of the image quality. Does that mean that you should spend the extra to get that camera? Sure, if that's in your budget, then definitely go for it. But if not, and you're just looking to invest $200 into a webcam, then the S3 is a phenomenal option. Let me know what you guys think between these two. I'm not going to choose the winner necessarily between these two, but dang, that tail air Obsbot, you really got a great camera going on. Now, if you remember originally the Obsbot, I did test out the Meet 2 4K camera, and it was very good. But this thing is roughly $180 to $100 US, and it's phenomenal. And it's literally smaller than a pack of gum, or maybe three matchboxes big, and that's pretty much it. So from a portability side, this guy wins hands down. Definitely you can tweak the Meet 2 4K and make it look really stellar. But right now between these two, the tail air, hands down, looks great. But that S3, I gotta say, that S3 looks really good. Now let me switch. This is my Sony. I'm gonna switch this over to the S3. You guys can see this is the quality coming out of the Yolocam, Yololiv Yolocam S3 with a few minor tweaks to the software and the settings. This is looking really good. Look at the bokeh, look at the blurring on the laptop in the background. And this is just coming straight out of that camera. But if I go ahead and switch this to the tail air, there is no bokeh. It's definitely a wider shot, but there's no bokeh, as you can see. So if I want to go ahead and zoom in, you see how sharp that is? Looks really good. Don't get me wrong, but that S3, if you're looking for closest to a mirrorless or DSLR camera kind of an effect with the bokeh, boom, the S3 wins hands down. Jeff, of course, Eden, of course, yeah, the tail air definitely looks good. But I just wanted to show you that there's 4K opportunities that look better. But again, the tail air is going to be several $100s more. So let's move over to, actually, here you guys can see those examples again. Tail air and the S3. Okay, now I'm gonna switch the tail air out and I'm going to switch over to a different camera. An amazing camera. Now, this here is the Obsbot Tail 2. When I mean this is a camera, I mean this is a camera. Now this runs at $1,200 US per camera. And the reason why is because it's very high quality. The optics, it's actually an optical zoom, so it's got 5x optical zoom, 12x hybrid zoom. The sensor size is very big. And then the motors and the mechanics of this makes this a professional grade camera. So if you are running live streams in churches or live events and you're looking to reduce the number of camera operators to just you as the producer, you can completely run your entire production off of this camera alone. And it really is good. It also is battery powered, so you can go ahead and use this without having to, wait, can I do this? Yeah, I think I can do this. Is that charging? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, hold on a second. I might have messed this tail 2 up because I didn't charge it. So let me see what I can do. Give me 1 second, folks. I've got some extra cables. I'm gonna put this over here. And I know what I can do. I can give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna switch this camera over and show you what it looks like. Unplug this. Move this. You guys should see what this thing looks like. Everything is all over the place. All right, let me know how things are going on your side. Let me know what you guys think about each of these cameras. And okay, so the Tail 2 is now, it's not booted yet. 1, 2, 3. That's my network cable that's running through. I'm actually gonna connect this by network. Oh, darn it. The Tail 2 is doesn't have enough battery or juice in it. Sorry, folks, I'm not going to be able to run that one today, but I will show you essentially what this looks like in another video. But that Tail 2, you can see the difference between the size of the Yolocam S3, which is over here, versus the Tail 2. The Tail 2 is by far, you know, going to be superior compared to all of these other cameras here. But cost-benefit analysis says Yolocam, though, for the win. Now, everybody, this has been a big showdown. I think that the webcam industry is changing and upgrading all of the time, and we are going to continue to see different cameras with improved optics, improved sizes of sensors, and compatibility with all of our devices. Now, in this 4K webcam showdown, the camera that definitely won, in my opinion, and in everybody's choices over here, has definitely been, let me switch over to it, the Yololiv Yolocam S3. So give it up, everybody, to this camera. I really find that the price performance ratio of this camera is great. And let me just feel the top. Actually, there's some decent temperature on this camera. So what you want to make sure is that it has breathing space, that it can actually have air around it. Don't shroud it, don't cover it by anything. The reason why it's hot is because that sensor is so good, so large, and the camera's cooling itself. It's going to dissipate that heat. So this camera is guaranteed to never overheat. By the way, all of these cameras I did purchase with my own money, except the Yolocam S3 and a couple of other sponsored cameras here. Nobody is basically saying you must say good things about our cameras, but at the end of the day, you guys all know how I do my reviews. I do love all of the cameras that we, or all the gear and equipment that I do showcase. If I do not like the equipment, I will not say anything at all about it, because that's just the way that I roll. So yeah, thanks, great showdown. Thanks for the time and analysis. Dude, thank you for coming on the live, man. This is really good. Everybody, this was the 4K webcam showdown. Thank you so much. We're gonna close this out with our opening video, and this is the 4K from the Yolocam S3. Cheers, everybody.
Are you ready for this? You gotta take the hits. Step into the ring. It's a 4K show.